say I can send you some stuff on counters and yada yada.
I have a pallet today. I'm good.
The same thing we put on stickers to make it go faster.
Whatever works. Maybe I'll go faster. As far as I knew, just a chair, but he's here tonight.
You might announce that sign up on your microphone.
Jeremy, are you with my tonight?
If you didn't hear me, the sign-up sheet for the public comment is over there by the gentleman in the green shirt on the other door.
I don't think that you can, yeah. Really.
Oh, yeah. Don's counting too. Have a time out?
We don't have enough.
What do we do?
He said 14.
Oh yeah, I wasn't trying to say.
Thank you.
In fact, I'll be sending them later.
Yeah, well, we've had a lot this week.
Yeah.
Did you show Bobby when I got there?
Oh, yes. Bad influence, Julie.
I tried myself on that.
You might.
Okay, I have 7 p.m. I'd like to call the October 12th Shelby County Board meeting to order. And we'll start out with the pledge of allegiance followed by the prayer.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear Lord, thank you for the opportunity to serve the people of Shelby County and help us to work together for the safety and well-being of those people we represent. And please, Lord, help us to remember we were elected to serve and not rule. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
roll call, please.
Mark Bennett. Teresa Bank.
Here.
Cody Brands.
Here.
Tim Brown. Carol Cole.
Here.
Charles Davis. Julie Edwards.
Here.
Martha Fernhaber. Here. Clay Hardy. Annette Martin. Here. Tad Mayhall.
Here.
Keith McCormick. Tim Morse.
Here.
Lori Nelson. Bobby Norman.
Here.
Sonny Ross.
Here.
Mitchell Sheff. Don Tate. Brett Wallace.
Here.
Jeremy Williams.
Here.
We have a quorum.
We have a quorum. Okay, item 3 on the agenda is approval of minutes of the September 14th meeting. A motion to approve the minutes. Brent makes the motion. Is there a second? Is there a second to approve? Tony makes the second. Any discussion on the minutes?
I have a discussion
Yes.
about the date that we approved starting negotiations was last meeting for the sheriff and the state's attorney to start negotiating. And if you look at those minutes, it looks to me like they started talking with those people before we ever approved them doing that. You're shaking your head yes.
I'm acknowledging you. Go ahead.
Okay, and then on that, it also spoke about the impasse and the reduction in pay. And I'd like to know how you can be at an impasse if you've never started negotiations.
So, is there an alteration to the minutes?
I just don't think that the process was correct, and it spells it out in your minutes in the last meeting we had.
So is there a correction to the minutes? What is your suggestion for correction to the minutes?
I think we need to talk about the process and what happened.
No, that's another agenda item. What is your suggestion for
Well,
fixing
I
it?
don't think I can approve them the way they are.
So if the minutes are incorrect, and if that's not what was discussed, then they're incorrect. If that's what was discussed, the minutes are accurate. Correct?
So what I'm saying, the process was incorrect. I'm not saying that the minutes are written wrong. I'm just saying, pointing out to everybody that the dates reflect that the last meeting we gave Mr. Hanlon the authority to start negotiating. And the date that reflects that the impasse was called was before they ever had authorization to even negotiate for the board.
Okay, so the minutes are incorrect.
I'm saying the process is wrong, so I guess, Tad, do you have anything to say?
On this topic, no, not right now.
Okay.
Okay, so the minutes are correct. Any other discussion on the minutes?
So you think because they're written that way, they're correct, the process was correct?
If that was the discussion, if that was what was said, then that is correct. If it is incorrect in the process, that's a whole different problem. But we're discussing the minutes, which is the written record of the meeting.
So if we approve that, does that say we're approving the process that was,
No.
okay, okay.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
No,
Teresa, nay. Motion carries. Item 4 is discussion and vote to approve the appointment of Clark Amlin to the County Board District 4 to fill the vacancy created by the resignation of Matt Kessler on the recommendation of Public and Central Committee.
So moved.
Jeremy makes the motion, second by Martha. Let's see here. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all in
wait a
favor
minute,
say aye.
wait a minute. Is he here?
He's right here.
Could he stand up so we can see what he looks like? Thank you.
So, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Congratulations, Mark. You can come up to take the oath. If you would come up front, please take the oath.
Raise your right hand. I, Clark Amling,
Clark Amling,
having been appointed
having been appointed
to the office of
to the office of
Shelby County Board District 4,
Shelby County Board District 4,
in the County of Shelby,
in the County of Shelby,
in the State of Illinois,
in the State of Illinois,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and will faithfully discharge
and will faithfully discharge
the duties of
the duties of
the office of Shelby County Board District 4
the office of Shelby County District 4
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Just need to sign it. Hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
And you can take your seat on the board. Thank you very much. Wherever you want.
Mark's not here tonight.
Okay, item 5 is the county highway report. Michael, you have the floor.
Thank you. So I have a report as well as a few resolutions and agenda items. I'm just going to start with my report. I'm going to say I'm still working on the current status of our financials. I'll have more updates as that comes along. We have a lot of projects going on and ongoing projects, still determining a lot of those. The Moequa Bridge is substantially complete and open. There is one issue on the guardrail, and there may be a possibility of shutting down the bridge for 1 to 2 more days to correct one issue that is on that bridge. There is a Prairie Township, a 3-sided structure in Herborn that was bid out on October 3rd. Klein Excavating was a low bid. That is an agenda item to approve them. So we have MFT budgets for all the townships in the county coming up in the next few months for oil and ship and general maintenance throughout the county. We're looking to work with IDOT to program projects in the next few months, so that will be multiple highways and multiple projects throughout the county, bridges, just everything throughout the county for major projects. We have multiple rail crossings in Union Pacific. I've met with the railroads in the last month, and trying to get up and going projects going there as well. So we will be creating a lot of safer rail crossings throughout the county, and that is funded fully through ICC. We don't pay anything for those projects. There are multiple bridges throughout the county that need addressed and constructed. IDOT has significantly increased our funding in the last year, so we will be thankfully able to reconstruct more bridges in the future. And I know grants have been a hot topic, and I come from a background of getting grants, and I hope to help the county acquire a lot of grant money and keep that process going. Personnel, still looking to hire multiple technicians, and I'm hoping to do that here in the near future. I have a significant amount of trainings that I'll be looking to do in the near future to really further my job opportunities I can do here. And lastly is equipment wish list. Still working on a tentative list. I have a rough list put together, and if any county board members would like to go over, or anybody would like to go over that, I'd happily share any information I have. So that's it for my report. Then I have a few resolution and agenda items. Do you want me to present those, or?
Yeah, we would just
Okay.
touch on the process.
Okay. So we have a resolution to approve 2024 supplemental work agreement with Hammond and Reed Land Survey for $70 per hour plus materials per employee. We have a resolution to approve the 2024 NBIS bridge inspections and program management with Hampton, Manzini, and Renwick.
Hang on a second, Michael. We'll vote on these individually.
Okay.
So we'll just roll through them. So is there a motion to approve the resolution for the supplemental work with Hammond and Reed?
Turn your microphone
Sorry. Is there a motion to approve the resolution for the supplemental work with Hammond and Reed? Brent makes the motion. Okay. Seconded by Don. Carol, do you have a question?
I did ask Michael about this because on Hammond and Reed, it says description of the work, the first thing was bridge inspections. And I had talked to him about it, that are they actually bridge inspectors? And
So I could touch on that, yes. I think there just might be some different terminology. They may be able to inspect the construction of the bridge, but they can't do, from my understanding, they can't actually do bridge inspections as are required by the state requirements. So they could assist with construction, but they can't do the actual bridge inspections, which is what HLR and is a future or next agenda item. So
should we strike this where it says bridge inspections, or on their paper, Hammond and Reed's paper?
Well, I think he explained the scope of the bridge inspection. It's on new construction only, not existing, like the normal, half the county gets inspected one year, the other half gets inspected the next year.
yeah. And the other item in this is they go my direction. So if I direct, they would only be able to do the actual bridge inspection under my direction if I were to actually tell them to go do that. So, and I would not do that. That would be a separate agreement with HLR to perform that work. So.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll roll call, please.
Clark Amling,
Aye.
Teresa Bank,
Yes.
Cody Brands,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Fernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Tad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brent Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next is the resolution to approve the 2024 NBIS bridge inspections and program management with HLR, which is Hampton, New Zealand, Renwick. Is there a motion to approve that resolution? Martha makes the motion, seconded by Jeremy. Any discussion? Michael, would you kind of elaborate a little bit on this?
So the state requires all bridges to be inspected on a 2 or 4 year cycle, depending on their direction for safety. So this is determined, this HLR is a structural engineering firm that is capable and has the certifications as necessary to perform these bridge inspections and help the process of determining all of them safe. So this is a required item through the state as well.
Any other questions?
Yeah, can you differentiate this one and the next one?
I think,
So, go ahead. You have that in front of you.
yeah, I think the next one is just more of the actual agreement. Just it's we have to sign and approve the agreement, I believe.
So the first one is a resolution to take action, and the next one is the actual agreement of the action. Does that make sense? Correct? Is that what you're saying?
Yes, from my understanding, yes.
I have a question.
Yes.
Were any of these bridges inspected last year, since we didn't have an engineer?
Yes, some of them are on a 6-month cycle. Some of them are on a year, 2-year, and 4-year cycle. So there are some bridges that get inspected at different intervals throughout the year, and IDOT does regulate that schedule. So,
Well, I didn't know, since we didn't have an engineer last year, if they're having to do more work this year because of that.
so HLR, we had an agreement with them also last year. They did all of the required inspections for last year.
Okay.
So we're not backlogged, thankfully, in that respect. So.
I remember Reed talking about some of those inspections.
Okay, any other questions about the resolution? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next is the agreement for the 2024 NBIS grid inspections with HLR for $46,000. And that is basically,
It's just it's similar to what we just talked about.
so now is there a motion to approve the agreement? Cody makes a motion to approve the agreement, Jeremy seconds the motion. Any discussion?
I just have a question. Is this something that's required to be bid out, and if yes, was it bid out? Or,
Professional services are not required to be bid out,
okay,
so I don't have to have these bid out
okay,
by statutory law.
okay.
And are these monies budgeted? This is already budgeted, okay,
Yeah.
both of them?
Yeah. I only chuckled because I asked the same question about 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's like, because we're spending money in the highway department just on a regular basis. Is this, how big is the budget? We're just spending money. So, yeah. So anyway, $46,000 agreement. Any other questions, comments?
We're sorry. I know a lot of the stuff that runs through the highway department is reimbursed in part or in total by IDOT, grants, et cetera. Is there any part of this that's reimbursed?
My understanding this, and I'm still figuring out the budget, my understanding this comes out of the MFT fund, so yes, it is not out of necessarily for the county budget, but it is out of MFT, which is a maintenance fund through IDOT.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions, comments? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Clark Ganley,
Yes.
Teresa Bain,
Yes.
Cody Brands,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Bernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Chad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brent Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Motion carries, thank you. The next is a resolution to award the bridge in Prairie Township to Klein Excavating for their low bid of $265,261.50, is that correct?
That is correct.
Would you elaborate on that a little bit, please?
So this is a three-sided structure. It is in the heart of Herburn and is over a small waterway. It was bid out. It was, I think, $20,000 under the estimate that we had for the project. So this came in under budget. Is there any questions, I guess, regarding it?
So is there a motion we can put on the floor? Don makes a motion, is there a second? Brent makes a second. Any questions, comments?
Is this gonna, when is this gonna start and be done?
Well, it'll be through discussions with the contractor. I don't have an exact date yet on that. I don't believe they do either.
About an estimate.
It would likely be constructed in the spring.
That's a good one. For $265,000 on a three-sided structure, what, I'm trying for the life of me, trying to remember what's in Herburn that's gonna, incur such an expense. What is there already? I mean, is there a lot of removal and then a lot of reconstruction, or what are we looking at?
So right now, there's an existing, some form of the structure. It's probably three-sided again. It is just in a four shape. It is just a concrete box that is in a poor state that actually just needs to be replaced. This is, I believe, also using some of our rebuild money that we need to get expended before the end of 2025. So this is a project that needs to be done, and we're using our rebuild money that we either give or use or give back. So,
Any other questions on the Prairie Township structure? Hearing none, roll call, please.
Clark Ganley,
Yes.
Teresa Bain,
Yes.
Cody Brands,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Bernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Chad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse, Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brent Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Motion passes, thank you. Next is a resolution to declare equipment as surplus and authorize disposal of the items as the county engineer sees fit. Is there a motion to put on the floor? Martha makes the motion. Got Carol in the second. Discussion. Lori.
The disposal of items as county engineer sees fit, does that need to be, once it's declared surplus, will you be auctioning those items off?
Yes, I will
State
intend
side or,
to go through a bidding process
okay,
and get rid of that nice property, yes.
Is there a problem with bringing the items that the engineer wants to dispose of to the board to act on one at a time? This feels like a blanket. This feels like a blanket resolution that I'm not sure a lot of us are comfortable with.
Bobby,
Yeah, Jeremy.
judging by the resolution, there's 3 points in it. There's a truck, there's a dump truck, and then there's various office things.
Yes.
So all we're approving for you to dispose of are the things listed in the resolution.
Yes,
Okay.
nothing more.
Don't we have to resolve on an item? Once an item becomes a county asset, doesn't it have to be
Declared surplus.
that item declared surplus?
Anybody have any input on that? Well, by approving this resolution, we're declaring that surplus. Those
Right.
items surplus.
Right.
So naturally, in the turn of events that is to transpire, you would advertise the items, advertise for bids, and then retrieve the sealed bids and open them up in a committee meeting, at least in a public body somewhere, for the bid opening, and then bring it back to the full board for the approval of the sale.
I can do that one, yes.
So that's outlined in the resolution. Isn't it?
The resolution does say, declare the above listed items and equipment as surplus.
So, any other discussion? Lori?
it does say that it would be declared as surplus, but the last sentence on the resolution says it shall be authorized to sell or dispose of the items of property upon such terms and conditions as the county engineer sees fit. Back to Sunny's question, ought we not be disposing of county property as a county board?
I think it's still referring to only those items listed above. I don't think that means anything else outside of those items listed.
For the last
Point,
sentence,
bullet point number 3 is office items.
Desk, drafting desk, file cabinets, and other cabinets that are not needed.
Okay.
So does that mean if nobody wants to buy them, purchase them because they're old, I don't know.
Or use them in other offices, et cetera.
Yeah, then he can just get rid of them?
Or store them until needed?
Where?
Or, that's what I'm asking.
I mean, these are old cabinets.
I'm just, my
Is,
question
is the equipment dilapidated and junk, or are we talking about good functional equipment that can be dispersed?
So going on the 2 trucks, there is a truck with a motor issue and it's not worth fixing. There is a dump truck, the motor and the transmission are in the bed, and every other part of the truck is rusted out completely. It is not in a state that it would even be remotely worth fixing. It is basically scrap material. There is just some excess desks and other items. If there's anything that I need to take off the list, I mean, I'd be willing to pursue the different meeting as well. So if the trucks could go through the bidding process and we just X off the office equipment for now and just pursue that at a later date, we could do that. So.
Sounds like he's wanting to clean house. Just let him clean house.
Just to dispose of it. You just the ability to
may be some of that stuff nobody wants.
Yes.
So then that gives him the right to just, okay, we tried, it won't sell, nobody wants
That is
it.
the way I would like to go about it, is if I would like to go through every single item that I'm wanting to get rid of, throw a bid process at it. If it doesn't sell, it then goes to the street side. Or some means of disposal.
Any other discussion? Comments on the resolution? Let's see, who had the motion? Brent?
I made the motion.
Martha made the motion, who seconded it?
Carol?
Carol seconded it. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, all opposed, same sign.
Aye.
1 nay, 7. Motion carries. Next is the resolution to approve the asking wage increase for highway laborers and the department updates. Oh, I'm sorry. Scratch department updates. It's just a resolution to approve asking wage increases for highway laborers. Is there a motion on the floor? Julie makes the motion. Is there a second? Cody seconds the motion. Any discussion? Martha?
So the date in the upper right-hand corner on this is 10/3/2023, but then it says effective May 31, 2023. So are we backdating the increase?
That is what AFC, the union has requested from us. It's just a proposal that was sent to us, and that is, I think, the date whenever this initially started for a conversation. So that is the reason of the May date. They started that conversation in May, and here we are in October. So this was before my time.
I think that's when Matt brought it up.
But it was never voted on at that point in time to pass it at that point in time. So is there a reason to backdate pay increases?
Well, I'm going to say I sat in on the interview when he interviewed the laborer, and he did mention it during that interview. I mean, he mentioned it to the,
Mentioned that it had passed, or mentioned that it might be coming,
that was going to be the plan.
to have an increase at some point in time?
Well, he outlined it pretty specifically that it would be increased. I mean, this is just what happened in the interview. When he interviewed, I think Kevin was who it was, that he said that the plan was to initially start them out at this rate, and they would then get their dollar bump. I think it was.
They get their dollar bump when?
I can't say for certain what the date was, but I think there was a schedule that Matt outlined.
So can you clarify what you're saying right now?
The interview, when they did the interview,
Yep.
they were talking about salaries, fees, whatever, and Matt said during the interview that they would initially start out at one rate, and then they would be increased by $1 after a certain period of time, and I cannot remember what that time was.
So I guess for my education, is that normal? In interview processes to agree to pay raises that we don't have the ability to do? It sounds like we had a member of this board, the committee, promising something. Of course, they're not going to defend themselves anymore because they quit. But how do you offer that in a negotiation like that? It's something that you're not even here to go back and cover.
That wasn't a negotiation of a job interview, wasn't it?
No, I think he was just describing what the fees, or what the plan was for the salary.
I think
Laid
we
out
need
in
to
where,
be
though? Where
careful.
was it laid out that he had the ability to make that promise?
You need to be careful about saying he did anything without knowing for sure.
Well, she was there, that's why.
Yeah, I mean, I was there in the interview. I'm not maybe wording it correctly, but there was an initial, he did state that there was an initial rate of pay, and they would receive $1 increase after, and like I said, I'm sorry, I don't know the period of time.
Mr. Chairman.
So I'm
Plus,
sure
it
that's
was
where
a
this
point of
came from.
contingency, whereas the dollar raise would come upon approval
Sure.
of the amendment here. So,
But
Cody
I'm
has
just
handed.
saying where that may came from, that might be why.
The issue is you have a committee that said, we are going to give you a pay raise, and then the can was kicked all the way until October, and it is not correct to tell somebody that they are gonna get a pay raise and wait months to do anything about it. They need to be back paid for what was promised to them, even if it wasn't the full board, the committee said it.
I agree with what you just said, because the way this is written, ASME is expecting that back pay, so we cannot vote no on this, or yes on this and not give them that back pay, because that is part of what they are expecting, don't you think?
Well, they are expecting, well, I mean, if I was them, I would be expecting to be paid when it was brought forth to me. Now, we cannot pay them, but then all they're gonna do is go back and be like, on this date, it was said that we're gonna get a pay raise, it goes to arbitration, we have to pay, it costs us more for legal fees.
And it always goes back to the date they started negotiations.
Exactly. As soon as somebody opens their mouth, that's when it starts.
And if they started it in May, that's why, that's the date. It's more of a union thing and a legal thing than a map thing.
Any other questions, discussion? I had a couple of hands, I thought. Any other comments? All right. The resolution to approve the asking wage increase for highway laborers. This would be roll call, please.
Clark Amling,
No,
Teresa Bank,
Are we voting to give them the back pay? Is that what part of this agreement is?
It's the resolution,
Whatever the resolution says.
I don't have it in front
Somebody,
of me.
It says that.
It does, it was back to May 31st,
Yes.
2023.
Yes.
Cody Brands,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Fernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Tad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
yes.
Sonny Ross,
No.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brent Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Okay. Motion
Motion
carries.
passes 13 ayes, 2 nays, Amling and Ross.
We've been through department updates. Is there anything else you want to touch on, or is
Just any questions anybody has for anything? Yes.
Cody?
Thanks. Make sure you tell you guys thank you for coming and repairing that road on the east side of Finley. We appreciate that.
I'll make sure my maintenance crew, I will tell them that in the morning. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hold on.
I was just going to ask him to tell everybody about the update on the Finley Road.
With the Finley Road, it is my intent to pursue programming for that for the next year, east of Finley, at least to get something constructed in the next couple of years, hopefully. I'm going to be working through IDOT, and it's going to be on their time frame, so it's going to take time, but that road is a very high priority in my list, so.
Don?
On County Highway 6, about a half a mile east of Gallagher Corner, if you know where that's at. A dead tree fell, it was shoved off the side of the road, but having driven on that road with grain trucks, it appears to be a hazard if somebody's on there with a combine and it's shoved way over. Maybe you could get your crew out there to get it out of the ditch and clean the rest of it up.
That is what they're currently working on, is projects similar to that, so I can get them going on that.
Thank you.
Anybody have any other questions for all the engineers? Yep. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.
Next is item 6, zoning administrator Scott McKee to review amendments to the zoning ordinance regarding solar farms and energy standards and system standards. Scott, you have the floor.
Okay, so first off, did everybody get the email? I did all right. Obviously Clark doesn't have it, so I'll give him. Basically, we're here to talk about commercial solar and commercial wind. I took this back down to the zoning board of appeals, and they wanted me to, I also spoke with the state's attorney. He and I are both in agreement that the law is the law, which is exactly what this is. This is just a bare bones, what the state of Illinois requires us to do to be able to have an ordinance in this county. The only thing that I added that is a little bit extra is I wanted to make sure that our campgrounds were protected. So in this ordinance, the campgrounds are considered an unincorporated municipality. Otherwise, everything in this is exactly what the state has written in their agricultural impact mitigation agreement, which is a necessary document that any commercial, solar, or wind must sign to be able to do business. You guys have any questions about the document? Okay.
Is there a motion to approve? We'll do one at a time. Is there a motion to approve of the solar farm ordinance and zoning ordinances? Cody makes the motion. Is there a second? Don makes a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Entertain a motion for the wind energy systems standards. Tad makes the motion on that. Is there a second? Martha seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on wind energy system? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Okay, so next is the discussion and vote to approve of amendments to the zoning ordinances regarding solar farms and wind energy system standards.
Yeah, so basically that was the discussion where we reviewed it, we wanted to review it, and then now you guys need to vote to adopt this ordinance.
Okay, so is there a motion to adopt the ordinances, and I'll do them collectively this time? Adopt the ordinances as presented and as amended. Cody makes the motion, Martha seconds the motion. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
So, is the rest of this, is this
Number
8?
Number 8 is a different item. Number 8 is the rezoning of a property, 1790 North County Highway 42. This is for Troy Coleman. He wants to rezone from agriculture to general business so that he can put an RV and boat storage facility on his property.
Where is this at roughly?
So it's north of Coon Creek, before the T intersection.
Sonny makes the motion to rezone the property. Tim Moore seconds the motion. Any questions, discussion?
Is this the property that they've had things parked on prior to the fire at the house and stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other questions, discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 9 is discussion and vote to approve the ordinance regulating DC power lines in Shelby County upon the recommendation of the legislative committee. Jeremy makes a motion to approve. Is there a second? Don seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on the ordinance regulating DC power lines? Don.
I brought this to Jeremy's attention a couple of months ago. I had received information from the attorney that's fighting the ability of the Greenbelt power line to eminent domain and all this jazz. And I'm aware of Christian County and Cumberland County on each side of us have a similar ordinance requiring that DC power lines be buried underground as opposed to going overhead. And I believe it's in the best interest of Shelby County to pass a similar ordinance.
Yeah, very good. In discussions and, I believe it was a budget committee meeting there a month ago. This is just commercial DC power, correct? Because residential, when you come off a solar panel or you come off of other, individual personal devices that create power, it's got to come out of a DC source. So there's actually DC lines that goes for a short stint before it's converted. So this is just a commercial DC ordinance, correct?
Yes, I believe that was the intention.
What this does is the high lines that you see along the highway, the transmission lines,
Right.
this is stopping them from cutting across country and stuff overhead. If they want to extend a transmission line, they're going to have to bury it. And with the voltage that those operate at, it's impossible to bury it. So you're trying to stop the high lines from cutting across for that purpose, for the green belt. Correct?
No, it's not to stop it from cutting across. What I was driving at was this ordinance doesn't restrict personal property. It is commercial property that we're looking to put a ordinance on.
But the people who build those lines would be considered, I would think, commercial. They would be companies that build those lines for grain belt and stuff, correct?
Right.
Is the grain belt DC or AC?
DC.
It's a DC.
Okay.
So, any other questions, comments on the DC ordinance? Hearing none.
So this ordinance is requiring burial of the, okay.
The lines, yes.
New lines, not existing.
Correct.
Yeah. That's correct.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Item 10 is discussion and vote to, Scott, do you have anything else on the agenda real quick?
No.
If you did, I was going to cover it real quick if you needed it yet, so.
I'm going to stick around anymore.
Okay. So, item 10 is discussion and vote to engage Consociate Health to complete the Consumer Coverage Disclosure Act requirements that was signed into law on August 21. Is there a motion to engage Consociate? Martha, and second. Second by Jeremy. Any discussion? Questions?
Can Martha explain this, what this is,
So,
as far as insurance and stuff, what does this do?
I think, I don't,
So basically what this is it's a requirement that, we are offering competitive coverages, I believe. Is that correct? Basically in a nutshell?
Eric, is that in a nutshell?
yeah, because I mean, the report from the feds that we don't have, look here, the information to complete the report. Yeah, the CCDA is the Illinois Consumer Coverage Disclosure Act. The CCDA is the Illinois Consumer Coverage Disclosure Act, and we are required as a county to provide this information. But because Consociate is our TPA, they would have all of this information in their system and be, well prepared to be able to crank this out, where if we say no to them, don't worry about this, I don't think we have the information in-house to even be able to comply with this requirement.
Any other questions, discussion?
I think it says one-time fee of $500 plus mailing and fulfillment, so, I mean, the cost, we could go get it done anywhere else. I don't think we'd want to hand out the personal and private information to somebody else and try to put that together for
Any other questions, comments? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Roll call.
Spending money, pardon me. Roll call, please.
Clark Ganley,
Yes.
Teresa Bain,
Yes.
Cody Brand,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Fernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Tad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brent Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
All right, thank you, motion passes. Item 11 is discussion and vote to approve the 24 county budget so it can be made available for required public viewing.
So moved.
Jeremy makes a motion to approve. There's a second by Sonny. Any discussion on the budget? Cody?
I'll make a move to table this because as far as I know, the budget committee has not even met to look this over.
That's correct.
I second the table.
There's a motion and a second to table due to the lack of coverage on the review of this budget. Is there any? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. Motion carries to table. Item 11 is tabled. Number 12 is discussion and vote to approve resolutions to transfer parcels from Shelby County as trustees to new owners. Parcel number 0417-20-00-300-006 to Daniel R. Allen for $3,000. Is there a motion? Cody makes a motion to transfer this parcel.
Second.
Second by Sonny. Is there any discussion? Just for point of clarification, this is from the tax sale?
It's not the tax, it's probably the auction.
Okay. Trustee auction. Okay. Any other questions, comments? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. The next parcel is 2311-22-15-401-003 to Dale J. Myers and Margaret D. Myers for $2,857.53. Is there a motion? Dawn makes a motion, seconded by Martha. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries to transfer that parcel. Items 13 and 14 have been requested to skip over. 15 is discussion and vote to approve the Shelby County social media policy upon recommendation of the legislative committee.
So moved.
Jeremy makes a motion to approve the policy, social media policy. Is there a second? Julie seconds the motion. Is there any discussion, questions? Lori?
The second last sentence in the first paragraph that states the purpose. I'm pretty uncomfortable with the last clause that says, as well as responsibilities of these persons who use social media channels for personal and business use. Is there, I've spoken with others on the legislative committee. I've read the document, it just seems like that includes personal use that the county should not be including in the policy. I understand that the implication and the purpose of the social media policy is that people are not using their personal social media during work hours or during county time, and that also the county social media accounts are not being used for personal opinion or views, but that is not how it reads, and I just ask, I'd like to make an amendment to withdraw that last clause, unless it interferes with the overall. maybe I'll just read it. The sentence, it's a bit lengthy, says, "This policy establishes guidelines for employees, volunteers, elected appointed officials who communicate via official county social media channels." And because that's where the comment is, and I'm asking the rest of it to be struck. "As well as responsibilities of these persons who use social media channels for personal or business use." Unless I am,
And I'm saying if we add the word,
What's the spirit of the
well,
policy?
this is in the statement of purpose, so to just read it at ground level, it's including personal and business use on social media.
the purpose of the whole policy is in regards to county social media. Nobody's personal pages, they can do what they want to do on their personal pages. This is just to spell out that county social media is to be used for county business only. So employees, volunteers, elected appointed officials, etc., are not to use county social media for their personal use, issues, comments, whatever. That's the purpose of the policy. It has nothing to do with restricting them in their own personal social media.
And what she's speaking to is spelled out on the second page under applicability and scope, which talks about that is anybody who works on the county, on behalf of the county, should be using social media. Is that those social media websites are not used for personal stuff.
So
I
that,
think on that on the sentence that she has concerns with, where it says as well as responsibilities of these persons who use social media channels, maybe we could do of these persons who use county social media channels. If we just insert the word county there.
that's what I was thinking. Instead of striking, maybe we could rephrase it to say, say what you're reading, because I think you're reading correctly.
So make a motion with amendment to add county to,
That's her motion.
yeah,
Yes.
I'm just prompting.
I think there's more to this. I make a motion, we send this back to committee.
There's more to go.
I mean,
Well,
There's
that's
more.
is
saying,
it my motion?
Did you make a motion?
I said I would like to make, I mean, I would propose it.
well, before you do that,
to strike that.
Tad, what, I mean, other points of contention you can see?
Well, I mean, there are, Twitter's no longer Twitter, right? It hasn't been for 2 months.
I believe there is, and I'll look for it, I don't know exactly where it is. I believe there is language in there that covers the changing of a name of a platform. So if they rename Twitter to whatever, I don't know, I don't even have a Twitter, but whatever they rename it to, or did rename it to, it would be covered. 'Cause
It does say,
yeah.
included but not limited to platforms such as.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it would not just be those things.
This policy has been, honestly, it's been through committee twice. Our IT has looked it over multiple occasions with the committee. It's also been through legal counsel. I have absolutely no problem with entertaining an amendment, but this is actually the exact same policy that the committee presented or was going to present last month. And we met again with IT, and no changes were found necessary to be made. So if there's a tiny bit of language in the policy to amend, I'm perfectly fine with that, but I see no reason why we could not do that this evening.
I'd like to make the amendment to strike the last clause after channels, comma.
Well, I have to technically have a motion on the floor.
You do?
Yeah.
Who seconded?
Nobody. But it didn't go for a second, right? I mean, I can withdraw the motion.
I
I did
didn't
make
catch,
one
I didn't catch the motion.
to send back to committee.
No, honestly, I didn't catch it. I heard you say send it back to committee, but I did not realize that was a motion.
I can withdraw, I'll withdraw the motion, but we're gonna be here a little bit. Because, well, I guess one, I don't understand what's this applying to right now? What exists right now that this applies to?
This simply is here for making sure, establishing a policy that says the volunteers, employees, elected and appointed officials, et cetera, are not going to use county equipment or on county time or county social media pages, et cetera, to express personal views or not using county equipment to post to their personal social media, things like that. It's
Or
just,
stream,
what's that?
use the streaming services, right? Isn't that on there too?
Streaming is not covered in this. That was a separate,
Oh, that's right, we
separate
talked
issue.
about that separately.
This is just basically a separation of personal and professional. You keep your professional in the professional lane and your personal in the personal lane, so.
So, we'll come back to this, so I have edits to make. So, who is IT? We reference information technologies, that all the materials, passwords, everything should be given to it. Who is IT?
Currently, MyTech Solutions provides our IT work services.
Okay, so
We did
this
not,
IT will have access to these platforms, to these, if somebody was to create a page, Tad Mail, District 3, right? So that person can technically post on my behalf?
There's a delineation here. If there is a Shelby County IL treasure page, clerk page, those would be owned by the county. The clerk and the treasurer come and go, but that page stays. Now, if you make a Tad Mayhall District 4, 3, District 3 page, you own that page. So you're kind of saying that you're putting that out there on political or whatever you're gonna do, but that's your page. Now, if it's a Shelby County IL driven page of information, then it's county.
Yeah, that's where I'm very confused on the delineation, right? So you're saying that if I don't put IL after it, I can do whatever I want?
I was just throwing an example.
Okay, I'm looking for the examples because that's where I take issue. I don't understand. I still don't understand the delineation of, whatever office holder or any of us, right? What deems that to be official?
It has to get approval from the chairman, I think, wasn't it chairman?
they have to apply to the chairman. I believe the policy outlines that. They apply to the chairman for that.
No, I get that. If I create it, you're saying that it doesn't have to be official, right? Who's to deem it if I put myself out there with this page representing District 3, right? It's still representing the county, but you're saying that I can do that on my own, but now you're saying that I have to have approval to do that, which is,
Are you?
I think what Bobby's saying is if there is a Facebook page that's Shelby County District Number 3, whoever comes in and out of that district over time doesn't get to shut that down or whatever, that they don't own that. Just like, if there's a clerk Facebook page, 20 years from now, when Jessica's not filling that position, whoever is filling that position can still utilize that page. But if you decide to go create a page, Tad Mayhall, District 3, that's your page. And when you
Something else too,
leave the board, you can kill that page if you want to.
I think the Meta platform is pretty consistent with it, but you can find out who the owners are, whether it's personal or professional or government, whatever it is. But this is your guys' decision.
and then we talk about prosecution under federal law. What federal laws are we applying to?
Ones that would apply to the misuse of county social media.
So no mention of termination, reprimands.
We, under the advice of legal counsel, we took out, I actually think it was the last sentence of the policy. Because, for example, if in a particular office, someone is found to have misused county social media, it would be first in the purview of the department head to terminate, not a policy, not a social media policy.
I can keep asking questions, but I'm not sure I'm going to get any more clear answers, so back to you. I didn't draw, I would do.
You have a motion?
I would like to make an amendment, I would like to make a motion to amend and come up the second part of that clause, or the clause at the end of the.
Would you specify page and paragraph?
It's first page, first paragraph, statement of purpose,
Okay.
second half of the second last sentence. Can you read it?
Read it.
To strike the part.
The struck part.
As well as responsibilities of these persons who use social media channels for personal or business use.
Is there a second on the amendment? Is there a second? Cody, you want to second it? Yeah. Okay, we've had a lot of discussion. Is there any more discussion on this particular?
I mean, why can't we just add county and that fix it? Or would it not?
I think it's striking that.
Just strike the
Second
whole
is like
thing.
it almost considering it's one of the first
So-
time before the.
So, but
Okay.
Is it spelled out what personal use and county use is through the rest of it? I think is that second half of the sentence could be misinterpreted in the purpose of the document.
Question.
Okay, Carol.
Is there a problem now? I mean, why are we doing this? Is there a problem now? Like if Jessica has a page, are there people going on her page or?
I will just say, I believe there
I don't
have
get
been,
it.
I believe there have been some issues, and that's why this arose, yes.
There are very few places that don't have social media policies. I mean, we were able to find several counties that had established social media policies. That's where we got a lot of these from, that we developed ours from. Most counties do have a social media policy.
Questions, comments on the amendment to strike the last part of the sentence in the first paragraph? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Which one are we?
We're voting on the amendment. Her amendment is to strike the last
Okay.
part of the sentence. So if you're voting no to strike the last part of this sentence, speak now. Okay. So motion carries to amend. We'll go back to the original motion to approve the social media policy now as amended. I had a motion, I believe by Jeremy, second by Julie. Any other discussion on this now? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign.
Aye.
Tim, Morse, Carol, Teresa, noes. Pat, did you vote no? You voted no?
No.
You voted yes, okay. Who's on first, right? Okay, motion carries. Item 16 is discussion and vote to approve opening the minutes according to the following closed session minutes of the County Board upon recommendation of the Legislative Committee. The first one is January 12th, 23. Is there a motion to open those minutes?
Mr. Chairman, based on advice from legal counsel, I will make the motion to release April 18 and July 18 and not the rest.
So item 16, Jeremy's made the motion to release April 18 and July 18 only. Is there a second on the motion? Sonny seconds the motion. Is there any discussion on that? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign.
No.
No.
Tad, Julie, knows. So 12th, January 12th, June 27th, and July 13th will remain closed. Item 17 is discussion and vote to approve resolutions to increase election judge base pay by $20, which would be reimbursed by the State Board of Elections pursuant to Public Act 103-008. Is there a motion? Laura makes the motion. Seconded by Martha. Any discussion? What is the current rate of pay?
Our base is 170, and then they get $25 if they attend the election judge training that's required every 2 years for 195. Plus, there's, if they pick up, if they return, there's a $10 fee. Anybody that works out of their district gets mileage, but basically the general pay is 195 for election judge.
Yeah, that's a long day.
And it is, and we get reimbursed, we currently get reimbursed 45, so now the state will reimburse us 65, but only if we increase the additional 20.
Okay. So I have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion, questions on the matter? Hearing none, roll call please.
Clark Amley,
Yes.
Teresa Bang,
Yes.
Cody Brands, Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Fernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Tad Mayhall,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brett Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Item 18 is committee reports. The committees like to report on their meetings.
I got an email from Steve at the health department, and he wanted me to let everyone know that the construction on the health department has started. So there's that.
Any other committee reports? Ted?
Yep, U of I extension, so deer season has started. If anybody's looking to deliver, we have a couple of processing plants in here for their protein donations, right? So you drop off your deer, they will process it, they will deliver it to the food pantries within the county. In addition to that, if there is an interest in some part-time work for just under 20 bucks an hour, they're looking for delivery drivers to go to the packing plants and to the food pantries, back and forth for delivery purposes. So, like I say, it's somewhere around $19, $20 an hour, plus mileage reimbursement.
Where would one go to get this information?
You can come find me or the U of I Extension office here in town.
U of I Extension Office. Very good. Any other committee reports? Okay.
The airport had between 3,000 and 4,000 people at the Balloon Fest over the weekend. It was quite a successful, they were really happy with everything, so.
Pretty good weekend for it, wasn't it? Windy.
Well, it was windy, they did get to fly over Sunday morning,
Yeah.
and there was one that landed downtown, the parking lot. Oh, right over here. In the parking lot, yeah, which was kind of neat, and then took off. Yeah.
Intentional landing.
I mean, it was there, it started there, and then it took off,
okay.
yeah. Not that it landed there, sorry.
Very good. Any other committee reports? Good. Hearing none, we'll move on to chairman updates. I think we've discussed a lot of things already, but we'll take the committee and et cetera. Chairman appointments. Seeking approval for Mark Bennett to be on the Road and Bridge Committee. Is there a motion? Jeremy makes the motion, seconded by Sonny. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. And then the next one is seeking approval to put Cody Brand as the chairman of the Public Safety Committee. Sonny makes a motion, seconded by Lori.
Question,
Yes.
is a vote required to make a chairman of someone who's already on the committee?
No, I just brought it up.
Okay. So we've done it without, and we're now doing it with. Do we want to establish a standard, or?
Good point. Would you?
I'll withdraw my motion.
Withdraw your motion. So I'll make the announcement. Cody Brands is the new Public Safety Chair Committee, Chair of the Public Safety Committee. Item 21 is correspondence. Does anybody have any correspondence beyond the committees that we discussed already? Hearing none, we'll move on to old business.
I have one question.
Yes.
Since you make chairman appointments, I've asked that Tim Morris be appointed to the farm committee, and I'd like for you to take that into consideration since he's a farmer and has great knowledge that I think he could help us with that. So.
Noted.
And we only have 4 people, so it'd be good to have him.
So item 23 is approval of the claims. A motion to approve the claims. Don Tate makes a motion to approve the claims. Is there a second?
With the exception of a bill from the sheriff department from Abbott for prisoner transport, which the committee felt like was an excessive amount and needs to be renegotiated with Abbott. So we have pulled that approval of that claim.
Okay, so I have a motion to approve the claims. Is there a second? By Tab. Now I'm going to make an amendment to withdraw or did you make a motion with the exclusion?
Except that one.
Okay, so the motion is to approve the claims with the exception of the Abbott bill, and you seconded that. You did that, okay. So, I had a train that just,
Off the track.
For further explanation, it's got insurance information on there with no information back that they ever tried to bill insurance. Make sense?
Okay.
So we get the full bill without them actually checking with insurance carrier. So.
Any other discussion on the claims? Martha?
I was just going to point out, we are still receiving bills with taxes being paid and restaurant bills with tips being charged, and just the reminder to department heads to also remind employees that tips are not to be included on restaurant bills, and if they're going personally to purchase something, they need to have a copy of the tax exemption with them to let the entity that they're purchasing from know that the county is a tax exempt entity, so that we can avoid those charges.
Thank you. Any other discussion on the approval of the claims? Hearing none, roll call please.
Clark Amling,
Yes.
Teresa Bank,
Yes.
Cody Brand,
Yes.
Carol Cole,
Yes.
Julie Edwards,
Yes.
Martha Fernhaber,
Yes.
Annette Martin,
Yes.
Tad Mayhaw,
Yes.
Tim Morse,
Yes.
Lori Nelson,
Yes.
Bobby Orman,
Yes.
Sonny Ross,
Yes.
Don Tate,
Yes.
Brett Wallace,
Yes.
Jeremy Williams.
Yes.
Motion passes unanimously.
Okay. Approval of the claims, we'll move on to public body comment. Is there anybody that'd like to speak public body comment? I'm sorry. We have a sign-up sheet. Lena's up first.
I have a link for you one. First question is it required to have all meetings videoed or live streamed or just audio recorded? If live stream is required, then who is responsible for making sure the live stream is working during committee meetings? Is it true that each committee chairman is responsible as stated on the Watchdogs page? Have they been told this prior to accepting being the chairman? If that's the case, then why doesn't all committee meetings live stream and not just the public safety and the farm committees? I mean, aren't all the committees just as important? Regardless if we're dealing with controversial issues that attract large public attendance as stated on the Watchdogs page. Is this one specific person's job to run the device if it is live streamed or audio recorded? Maybe better communication across the board would clear up issues and not require such BS articles storing more crap for Shelby County on the Watchdogs page. Bobby, to you. Why haven't you communicated back to the mayor regarding the letter that was sent early September about the intergovernmental agreement discussion with the city dive team? Like, not even a reply from you, not a thank you, we're looking into this matter, just nothing. You just ignored the mayor of Shelbyville. You chose not to take any steps in resolving this matter. Don't you want to see the issue resolved and moving to fixing bigger county issues? As the board chairman, isn't this your job? Isn't this the one reason you were voted to make tough decisions? I mean, to not even communicate with the city mayor looks bad on your end, not mine. But that is very telling that you don't care about public safety for our county. You have the opportunity to fix the problem while you try to form your own dive team with the county. Why hold that up? What happens when the Corps of Engineers, the IDNR, the townships all sign this agreement with the city, which a lot of us citizens are hoping happens? I guess good luck getting those guys to sign once you do form your county dive team. Julie, before you sent a message out Monday morning regarding no longer standing behind your comment made during last Thursday's meeting of the county having an open discussion with the city for the dive team, did you bother to call and check and how this may affect the taxpayers before making that decision to send that email out? You must have called the courthouse on Friday to get that answer to make such a quick decision to send that out as early as you did Monday morning. I truly would like to know if the city takes over the dive team, how this will really affect us. I'd like to know if you've been given the same answer from your research, assuming you've done your research, as I have with the calls I've made. I mean, the city already passed to form a dive team, so please tell me how you no longer stand behind your comment is going to save the city taxpayers any money. Is it because you think the county owns that equipment, and by going into any agreement would mean you'd have to release that equipment to the city? Oh, then that would have mean purchase new equipment. Maybe that's what you meant by costing the citizen. I'm not sure. I mean, Mr. Tate did state last week that he is not aware of any said invoices to show that the county paid for any of the dive team's large number of items. So again, how can any of you sit and claim that the county owns anything within the dive shed building? Yes, the dive shed's building, not the county's building. Again, there's a city dive team that has a ton of support, whether you all like it or not, it's happening. Another concern is what do we as citizens, the ones who voted you all in, need to do to see others who have interest in saving the farm be a part of the farm committee to weigh in on your thoughts and concerns at meetings. Carol, you just addressed this, so thank you, because my question was to ask you, how do we make this happen? Like last week, Mitch decided to go ahead and move forward with soil testing, but he doesn't want to farm it. What's the point of testing the soil if you have no intentions of farming it? That's just a waste of money, right? Waste of the taxpayers' money to test the soil and do what with it? That's it. It seems to be so many of you sit back at these meetings, but then have no problem calling us when these meetings are over, wanting to chat it all up, where there's no proof of what's been said. In my opinion, that's complete BS. Some of you claim that multiple citizens come to you because they agree with what you're doing. Where are those so-called multiple citizens that never come to these meetings, stand up and speak on behalf of the good you've actually done for our county? I'll end with saying good job to you that you chose to sit on such important county issues instead of trying to resolve any because you're so afraid of hurting the person's feelings next to you. So how about now you go do what you were voted in to do?
Thank you for your comment. Joe Riley.
Good evening. My name is Joe Riley. I'm president of Lakers Local 159. I just wanted to make a
statement about Article number 9, the ordinance pertaining to the transmission line. The ordinance passed tonight illegally attempts to have county government dictate the power grid. State law is clear. The county has absolutely no legal authority to regulate transmission lines. And here's a quote from the county chapter of the Illinois Code. It says the counties may not specify or regulate the type of location of any poles, towers, wires, cables, conduits, vaults, laterals, or any other similar distributing equipment of a power line serving a public utility. This ordinance will not only mean pointless legal costs for the county, but will also mean anyone looking to invest in Shelby County, whether it's a big box store or factory, is going to have to come ask the board if they can put up a power line. So I don't think these are consequences and a reputation that Shelby County wants. Thanks.
If that's all that signed up for public body comment, is there any other public body comment? Yes.
Why do we not have the state's attorney here during the meetings? I mean, I used to come all the time, and Nicole is always here. So I don't understand, and I think a lot of your questions would be answered if we had the attorney. A lot. She was there a lot. She helped me a lot. So I'm just asking why he's never here, what I should say. I'm from this area, so I know what it is. No answer. Okay.
I didn't get no answers either.
I'm so used to this.
I know,
It's like
me too.
living with my parents.
Go ahead.
I got a couple of questions for Sonny. I believe he asked our dive team to step down. Could you give us any reasons why they should step down? I don't think I've seen any. I think all these guys do a wonderful job. So where's your new dive team? Have you had a lot of applicants? Now, what did these guys do wrong? I got a lot more respect for these people, Sonny, than I do for you. And John Kraft, why did you indicate you didn't really care? I sat here and listened to you say, if they want to quit, let them quit. And Kirk Allen, you've done nothing positive for Shelby County in your life. You are the solution to any of our problems. You're the problem.
Yep.
You destroyed two of my best friends' lives for 2 years with all your bullshit stories, just like you're giving here. There's no reason we can't farm. Alan Spector's guilty of nothing. No one's guilty of anything. And the closer somebody gets to what you're really about, the more you laugh. That's right. And you can laugh at me if you want to.
That's right.
But you've not done one good thing for them.
Right on your face.
So I mean, Bobby, what's wrong with you? Why are you believing these guys instead of us? I guess we're worth nothing. But these guys, anything you say, you take it to, you believe it. Jeremy, you follow them around like a puppy, like they got a leash on you. I mean, this is ridiculous what you're doing to Shelby County. What for? You pretend there's not money in the bank. At the end of August, there's $26 million in the bank. The next year, we're taking in another $7 million. That's $33 million. Oh yeah, we're out of money. We don't have any money anymore. You got this bullshit story about the farm being a cemetery. It isn't a cemetery. It's not legally a cemetery. The description of it, on the legal description, it's not a cemetery. When are you going to stop this stuff? You attacked my wife. You attacked all kinds of people. Your friend attacks people in the courthouse before they're scared to death. One of the girls was losing her hair. She was so scared. I don't understand what's going on. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is nothing but, this whole meeting is nothing but a big joke. Just like you are, Phil. That's my opinion.
Public body comment. Sir.
Yes, Alex Shanks. I just kind of want to address this to the chairman of the board. Although it does pertain to the entire board too. I want to begin with a quote. The person you have to spend the most time listening to you in life is yourself, so try not to lose their respect. This dive team situation is a concern. When this all happened, Commander Austin tried to extend a hand to shake this person's hand, right? A fresh start. He was ignored, and at the next meeting, the county board came together to pass a temporary resolution purview of the Public Safety Committee. Austin was grateful that they acted unanimously, but he and others believed that the trust with this person was no longer. He asked him to step down from the committee in the interest of public safety, and he did not oblige. They all resigned as a result, hoping the county would realize the situation as they saw it, untenable. Many in the county board said that this person was just one on 7 members of a committee. How much damage that this person could do. It didn't feel good as board members to extend the hand only for it to be ignored. I mean, how could they all resign and refuse the county's temporary measure to resolve this? Since then, I've attended these public safety committee meetings. This person lectured the chairman of the meeting, Don Tate, for how he chose to conduct the meeting as chair of the committee. He tried to silence a chair-recognized member of the audience for his informative information on how a city and county agreement arrangement would work. I knew that next step was Brad Hudson. I simply just didn't have the stomach to continue to watch the meeting. After the meeting, I saw Don Tate, the chair of this committee, go out frustrated, telling this person and others to expect his resignation as the chairman of the Public Safety Committee on the chairman's desk. Looking back, I would say that Commander Austin and the team members made the right call, but they didn't want to work under the purview of someone acting with vendetta. The absence of this team is a great concern. Just like a fire department serves a dual purpose to put out fires, preventing further property damage, but also to rescue children, adults, and pets trapped in a fire. The dive team also serves a dual purpose, to rescue children, adults trapped in water, and to recover victims claimed by the water for closure of their families. It's much needed. I believe God or the universe sends us signs. When this all occurred, there was someone in need of a water rescue. A sheriff's deputy was there to put himself in harm's way without any help, without any training to help. And fortunately, no one was hurt. There will unfortunately be others. What will we want to tell the loved one of those others when they ask why we didn't come together and solve this issue? Mark Shanks, he pressed on to pursue a way that the team could function with oversight, as some of the county board members had suggested. And the city, recognizing the need to conclude this public safety issue, extended their offer to the county. The city's hand is out. As a board, you have the opportunity to shake it. Let's move on, let's put this behind us, and let's get back to work on more important other matters.
Public body comment. Public body comment. Tricia.
Yeah, I know it wasn't on the agenda to discuss the dive team, but I was looking back at the agenda for the committee meeting, and it was on the committee meeting put on by somebody in the county, intergovernmental agreement. By the board, it was put on, intergovernmental agreement. If there was no intergovernmental agreement, why did the Public Safety Committee not make that clear to the people in the audience that you did not have one? I think that that is also misrepresenting as a board. That would have solved a lot of issues, maybe kept people from having a lot of grief today. If the board would have said, we don't have one right now, but you didn't do that. A matter of fact, some people asked you if you talked to the state's attorney about it, and some people said, well, we tried, couldn't get a hold of them, or something of that nature, leading the public to believe that you had a intergovernmental agreement. So your communication there, I think if you simply would have stated when that matter came up, we don't have one, and until we get one, then we're not going to discuss, or we could have discussed, do we want to, if we get one, entertain this idea? So it could have been presented tonight. It just blows my mind, and one thing that I keep going back to, we have all these people in this room, Republicans, Democrats, Independents, and the one thing that you have succeeded at doing really well, that even nationally people haven't succeeded at, is bringing us all together. Because when we see leadership that is not leading, we know we need to come together for a common cause. And that's why we're here, because you're not leading. Leading means protecting your public. And with the dive team, it's like you don't even care. You don't even care. Did any of you call the city and ask
hey, where's this agreement? We don't have it. Did anybody reach out? One person. And say, we're supposed to be discussing this, we don't have it. We'd like to see it. You know, I am kind of grateful when I come to these meetings because I've met people and talked to people I probably never would have talked to in my life. And we've sat down and we have policy disagreements. We have all kinds of disagreements on politics. But we could come together when we see humanity being destroyed. Because that's what life's about. When you see things that are not going well, people come together. And these meetings have been packed for a reason. I hope that you get together and you figure it out. And you start trying to work with people. Start listening to your constituents. And when I hear many of you say, my opinion, my opinion, my opinion, throw that out the window. It's supposed to be about us, we the people, not you. Not any individual person here. It's supposed to be about the good of the county.
Public final comment? We'll go here in front row.
I just wanted to comment on a couple things I've been researching the last couple weeks. We were told that the dive team was shut down because of insurance issues. And legislative is the one that handles the insurance, right? That's what they do. In March, there was a meeting. Chris Smith was here from Gallagher. Some questions were asked. Austin asked a couple questions. Martha was here. She's our insurance person. She knows insurance. So she weighed in a little bit. Cody asked some good questions. All appropriate. All of them. Then we get to a spat about an agreement about the SOP for the dive team. Okay, went a little bit too far. Then a couple of days before the shutdown, there were some emails sent by some of the same individuals to the insurance company wanting to know about coverage for the dive team. And if you look at the carbon copies, you see names of insurance professionals that have been in insurance not more than a year. Some of them, one guy was 35 years in insurance. When you carbon copy someone, they get to see that email. And they also had the chance to weigh in on, are they covered, are they not? They tried not once, not twice, I believe it was 3 times, to get someone from this group of, I believe it was a total of 7 insurance professionals. It might be 6, but I think it's 7. To say, oh, they're not covered, we can't do that. Okay? They told you were covered. And it was actually, they got the answer to Sonny over there about a day or a few hours after he'd already shut the dive team down. Interesting little tidbit. Since it's happened and he shut them down because they didn't have insurance coverage, has any one person seen or heard any snippet of a change in insurance to go through the legislative committee? The answer is no. Not one change. And when I spoke to him directly on the phone about it and asked him, I said, if the dive team and the rescue squad were established the same way in the same manner, and they're lacking the insurance as well, right? Why did you just shut down the dive team? And his response was, they're next. So I want to know, Sonny, when do you plan on shutting down the rescue squad? Are they next? Is that the next tactic? To shut down somebody that doesn't go along with your little ploy you got going on? Because all it takes is to look at the agenda and compare the agenda to the minutes in the meeting. And the lie comes out because you didn't take one snippet back to the insurance coverage. And you thought because you knew Chris Smith worked here in town, somebody could manipulate him into saying, no, you're not covered. This is wrong, this is wrong. He didn't say one thing. He said, if you want to meet with me, I will arrange to meet with you or do a Zoom, I believe is what he said, or conference call. Not one time has it happened. That's all I need to say.
Public comment.
Hi, Mark Shanks. I just wanted to clear up one misconception. I had heard from a board member that there had been concerns expressed by residents of the city of Shelbyville that they didn't want their tax dollars to be used for a city dive team that would serve the rest of the county. And I just wanted to allay that concern. It is the intention at this time for the city dive team to be funded entirely by donations that the dive team would work through for fundraisers. And we have people that will make up the difference in any budget shortcoming so that it will not be a tax item on the city council or on the city either, so not an issue.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, public body comment. Awesome.
A lot of what I was going to say tonight, everybody else has kind of hit on a little bit. I want to take the insurance a little bit further. Let me back up a minute. I want to take a misconception a little bit further. This week on Marcia's page, she had a nice little write-up. Mr. Ross decided to respond to it, and in that response, he says that I was in agreement with the shutdown. That is totally false. That is totally incorrect. I found out about the shutdown approximately 5 minutes before I received the email. I was not in agreement with that. I was told that's what was going to happen. Back to the insurance. Along with what Christine said, if the dive team didn't have insurance because our formation was not correct, then how can the rescue squad have insurance? Because it's been said that they don't have formation paperwork either. Mr. Ross, would you like to clear that up? Do they have insurance? Do they not have insurance? You made a response to my comment, but you would never answer my questions. You know? Everything keeps coming out. How about the key you went and made to the dive ship? Would you like to share that, or would you like to turn that in?
That's a lie.
No? No, it's not.
No.
No, there's proof of it. There's proof of it.
Mr. Chairman.
The rest of you board members, the rest of you board members need to know
That is not true.
what we've been through. And you board members have not put a stop to it.
What did you say that he did?
Number one, he misled and coerced a county employee to obtain their key to the dive shed.
That is not
Then he
true.
went and made a copy of it.
That is not true.
Made a copy of it. And then the next day, him and Mr. Hanlon were in the dive shed also. But the first day he went there, he stole the Wex cards out of the dive shed. He had no business being in there. All he had to do if he wanted to go in there was contact me. I would have met him there. I would have let him in. And if there was something he felt he needed to obtain, we'd have had that discussion. But he didn't do that. He took it upon himself. He overstepped. He used his position as a county board member and overstepped. Now, maybe that information some of you guys did not know. And if you didn't, well, I wish I'd have brought it out sooner. But this board did not stop him from doing it. Many of the board members were not aware until after the stand-down order happened that it happened. Is that right? Shouldn't that have been discussed amongst the whole board? Shouldn't that have been something voted on by the board? You know, if there really was not insurance, wouldn't that be considered an emergency? If there's not insurance, couldn't you call it an emergency board meeting? You know? And discuss it? And find out? Maybe things would have gone a whole lot differently than the way they did. You know, the rest of you need to dig into this. There's people that have FOIA'd all kinds of information, and just more information keeps coming out. Information that all of you can obtain also. If you haven't seen the insurance emails, I encourage you to look at them. Because in there, Chris Smith says the dive team has insurance based on the confines of the policy. For 23 years, evidently, we had insurance, and then all of a sudden we don't. Did the insurance policy get changed? You know? What it boils down to is a vendetta. Is exactly what it was. Mr. Ross's ego was hurt, after being called out at an unofficial committee meeting, and his ego was hurt, and he wanted to stick it to me, is exactly what he wanted to do. Thank you.
Exactly.
Public body comment. Public body, Cody.
So if you go to a fire district, they have trustees. There's no trustees, but there's members of the committee for the dive team. Trustees and those members do not need any reason to go into a dive shed or a fire department or anything. They can do it whenever they want, as they see fit. They do not have to have permission.
And remove whatever they want.
If there is an issue, then yes.
In a building that's not leased by the county, that's leased by a private individual.
How-
That's right, that's a caveat. It's not leased by the county.
It's leased to.
You should know that. Maybe that's why it's probably not a good idea that you did.
The
County's not. It's not leased to the county.
spiral.
There's a no fee lease.
We have one person, Cody, go ahead.
This misconception that the county doesn't own it is completely false. It's the taxpayers who own it, and it's every taxpayer, not just a few.
Not, we don't pay anything for it, it's not.
That is not correct either, because if something is given to the sheriff's department, it falls underneath the county. Just because that it's a dive team doesn't mean that it's under some different purview. The taxpayers pay for gas, fuel, they pay for insurance. So to say that the taxpayers don't own it, but the dive members do, is a ridiculous statement.
The county don't own it,
The county doesn't own it, they also own it.
maybe the taxpayers, but not the county.
The taxpayers are the county.
Not you, not Sunny, not individually. And you guys think you are.
You have no
We are
proof of
the
anything.
This open
No,
discussion?
I'm talking about individually.
Cody, you have the floor.
You running things? Are you?
Nope. I just know you.
Gentlemen.
Thank you, Bobby.
No, quiet down, both of you. Cody, you got the floor.
That's it.
Talk about toxic environment.
Do something about it.
Right.
We wouldn't all be here.
Poison over in the corner.
Public body comment. Gentlemen.
Yeah, just some opinions, my opinions, some concerns that I have. No particular order. Concerned that Teresa Bain was, brought up on charges because she sat on a cemetery board. I think everybody that's been around here knows why. And just ridiculous. Carol Cole was mentioned in a elected officials page and some comments that were maybe half the story, I guess. And if you're a fellow board member of these two ladies, I would think you would be concerned about the behavior and how they've been treated. As far as the dive team, I think it's been said, but that equipment, the right thing to do, the city's going to run what is the dive team. The right thing to do for this board is to take their equipment and release it to the city and let them get back to work. I think that's the right thing to do. I think the right thing to do is to farm the farm and plant seed in the ground next spring. I think that's the right thing to do for our county, for our citizens. I think the right thing to do is to support our airport and not make a man who presents, looking for some funds to help the airport. I think the right thing to do is, within reason, support our airport. I think the right thing to do is to utilize our ARPA funds to the best of your ability for the people of this county. I think if I were on this board and I saw the state's attorney's budget in that department, I think I would be a little concerned at the ballooning that's going on there. I think I'd do everything in my power that if I promised a truck to the dog catcher, that get in that truck a lot. I think that if I was on this board and I was concerned about the toxic environment, as Bobby said, I would take these two gentlemen who are helping create that and get them out of the head of the class and back somewhere else. I think if I were on this board and I heard Mr. Height say what he said, I think I wouldn't sweep it under the rug. I'd probably start some kind of investigation into what Mr. Height had to say. Those are just my opinions, my concerns. Thank you.
Public body comments. Public body comment? Public body comment. Is there a motion to adjourn? Martha, motion to adjourn, seconded by Lori. All in favor say aye.
Aye.